June 30th, 2009. Lake Industrials versus Avalon Insurance.
Counsel, please state your appearances for the record.
Arthur Brandman for Lake Industrials.
Rex Alexander for the defense.
It was a multi-million-dollar insurance fraud.
Plaintiff calls Janet Lake.
Mr. Lake burned down his factory, hoping for a fresh start. You'd think a man's own wife would be an indestructible alibi witness. But if you can just find that one loose thread, anyone can be unraveled. Anyone can be taken apart.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? So help me God.
Watch how smoothly she lies for him. I'll expect the same from you.
Do you have a lot of insurance fraud planned for our marriage?
Lindsay, we started in law school. I sat behind her in torts, admiring her impeccable notes. Sex between us was inevitable. Now we were engaged and things were perfect. She loved me and I loved astonishing her.
Do you recall the night of June 30th, 2007?
Yes. It was the night my husband's factory burned down.
And on that night, your husband never left your sight, did he?
Objection. Counsel hasn't established they were together yet.
Objection sustained.
Mrs. Lake,
Show off.
were you with Mr. Lake that night?
Yes. We always go out for donuts on Sunday night.
All right.
Okay, there it is. Donuts on Sunday night.
It's too risky, Rex.
Bruce and I started at the firm together. He was solid, and anywhere else he would have been the star. But he never quite had my skill, my talent.
No?
He never had my ability to captivate an audience.
Then I have no further questions.
Mr. Alexander, you're a witness.
That's what made me so deadly in court. So breathtaking.
Mrs. Lake. Hi. Could you repeat that part of your answer where you and Mr. Lake had donuts together?
We ate chocolate frosted donuts, and Tom was sort of complaining about his fantasy football league.
Thank you. My associate Bruce will now rise and disrobe.
Mr. Alexander.
With the court's indulgence, of course. Mrs. Lake, how did I know exactly what you were going to say? I knew exactly what you were going to say because it is word for word the same testimony you gave at your deposition. In fact, I liked it so much, I made it into a t-shirt. Why did you memorize your testimony, Mrs. Lake? It's the sort of that really impresses me. Makes a line seem natural, spontaneous, huh? Someone very clever put that sort of in there, didn't they? Was that someone sort of your husband? Mrs. Lake?
And that's when it began.
I can't feel my hands. I can't feel my hands.
I'm sorry.
My hands, I can't feel them.
That was it. My final performance.
I can't get a breath inside me.
Rex.
That ringing, please. Somebody please stop that ringing.
I object. Whatever rules Mr. Alexander is trying.
Sustained. Mr. Alexander.
But if I had to go, at least I could take the jury with me.
I'll be brief because my throat is closing and my left eye's gone blind. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot, Mrs. Lake. You did perjure yourself, but perhaps I could have been gentler. That being said, the law is very clear. You must send these criminals home without a penny. Bruce, don't you dare let them move for mistrial over this. Ladies, gentlemen, when you speak of me, say that I was a son, a friend, a lover, and a lawyer. If I had just a bit more time, I would have been a husband and someday a father. In the end, I was only a man. I want to thank you all for being so wonderful. I know I'm going to die now, so I'm getting on the floor.
I lay there, paralyzed. And I still needed to tell Lindsay not to spend her whole life mourning me. Someday she would have to learn to love again.
Rex.
In the end, I was the one
Rex.
who unraveled. What?
You've told me this story 100 times.
It's a great story.
It'd be one thing if you were probing deeper with each telling, getting more out of it. Sometimes I think you just like.
Well, we're making such
telling.
progress. Like last week when you noticed how I'd set out to unravel Mrs.
Putting
Lake,
my observations
but in the
into
end it
your
was me
story.
who unraveled.
That doesn't count as progress.
Why is this happening to me? Everything was perfect. Just tell me how to get it all back.
I'm terminating our relationship.
What? Why?
When you came to me 6 months ago, we made an agreement that it would be safe for you to practice law in an advisory capacity, as long as you did not speak in court yourself. 3 times you brutally violated that agreement.
How do I know I'm cured if I don't try to get back up
You
there?
don't cure panic attacks, especially since we don't know what's causing them yet. It's just in time, yes, but medication has not worked. And if you don't respect your own triggers, then my job is totally impossible.
My last attack was over a month ago. Why wait until
And
now?
you continue to live in this unstable and transitory life in a hotel.
The hotel soothes me.
What must they be charging for a nice king-size room these days?
Why do you care? I can afford it.
No, I know you can afford it. That's not the...
You said there was one very good reason. I still haven't heard it.
Oh, yes. Very well. You haven't talked to Lindsay in over 8 months, and that's not good.
Congratulations. That makes 3 terrible reasons. Are you lying to me now, or were you lying to me then?
Would you not lawyer me?
You're hiding something, Feynman.
All right. My decision is final.
No.
And you won't be billed for this. Sorry.
No,
I
no.
couldn't help you out.
No,
All
you
right?
can't do this. I need you.
Just want to send you on your way.
At least give me something to remember you by.
What would you like?
Give me your watch.
Go home.
Amazing news. I just checked the lobby and we have 2 potential clients for you to coach.
I hate walk-ins.
I was a walk-in and you offered me a job. What are you doing?
Bruce's emails to Lindsay have been getting more aggressive. I want your take.
Oh, you are still breaking into your ex-fiance's email
This
account?
one came in at 10 p.m. Bruce offers to drop off a file at her place.
Are you kidding? He's using the file as an excuse to see her.
Maybe it's a crucial file. Plus, here she says it can wait till morning. So, clearly she's not interested.
Yeah, no. She signs it Sweet Dreams.
So, sweet dreams or what?
Rex, when a woman says sweet dreams to a man, she's telling him to think about her, like in bed. You may have to face the fact that Lindsay is moving on. Ooh, looks like Lindsay went on a little online shopping.
Hey, stop snooping. Tell me about the walk-in.
Sorry. Okay, we have a potential wrongful death action. That sounds fun, huh?
Potential? Is he dead or not?
He was 91.
Geriatrics? This is really what my career has come to.
Easy, boy. We also have this.
Mabel Howard.
She was a school bus driver until the private school just let her go.
Wrongful termination of a school bus driver. That's our case?
Can you please just trust me? This one has a lot of promise.
Never had an accident, never broken the law. No child has ever been harmed on my watch. Driving that school bus was my life. And then one day, Headmaster Rice just snatched the keys out of my hand and thanked me for 25 years of work and sent me on my way.
Just like that?
Mr. Alexander, private school kids can be a handful. Thank you. I can stand the jokes and the constant screaming and all those terrible songs they sing about me like I'm not a human being, like I don't have ears. But that boy cut up my bus.
What boy?
Jared cut up the seat with a hunting knife, so I dragged him down to Headmaster Rice's office.
Any real evidence it was retaliation for blowing the whistle on that kid?
I have my word.
Your word isn't a case. Miss Howard, people ask me to coach them for one of 3 reasons. They can't afford a practicing attorney, they actually want to represent themselves, or their case is such a dog, nobody will touch it.
Well, I'm here because I heard you were the best. And even if you did go crazy...
Well, I didn't go crazy.
I have less than a week before trial, and no one will help me. I did all the filings myself, and all I need is for somebody to tell me what to say.
No, I'm sorry. I can't help you.
Maybe you should ask Miss Howard who owns Vanderfield.
Oh, that would be Gladwell Corporation. They own about 200 private schools all over the country.
You knew about this all along?
Knew about what?
Mr. Alexander used to work for the firm that represents Gladwell. His ex-fiancée still does.
And he doesn't think he's crazy?
Sadly, no.
Only a matter of time before you're back on top, Rex. I truly believe that.
Nice of you to say, Bruce.
Well, you've always been there for me. Now I'm here for you.
So, Lindsay won't answer my calls. I stopped by the firm, but they wouldn't let me in.
Well, you can't really blame them. Kind of left everybody in the lurch running off to Canada.
She even ask about me?
What do you want me to say, Rex? I'll mention something, but I think it's really between you guys.
Why don't I just talk to her myself when I see her at the courthouse?
Courthouse? You working on something?
A little case I managed to drum up. Mabel Howard versus Gladwell.
Come on, Rex. She's been schlepping that wet blanket around LA for months. Nobody will touch her.
Did you know she has to work 2 jobs just to survive? Husband's out of the picture. Even had to ship her 3 kids off to Atlanta to live with her cousins.
That's, really sad. Only Gladwell didn't need a reason to fire her.
But if they did use one, they'd be liable. Person collapses in front of you, the law lets you walk right by, but if you stop to help, you're responsible for what happens next.
Nice try, Rex. Still a loser.
I've won with less.
True. But Mabel Howard hasn't.
Oh, yeah. Which brings us to section 2.5. Rex is not your lawyer. You are your lawyer. If you feel malpractice has occurred, you will have no one to sue but yourself. Understood?
Understood.
2.6, Rex is not your mother. He will not clean up after you. Any outside food and beverages will be confiscated. There's no need to take notes. You'll get a copy.
I haven't seen my kids in months. Just tell me I'll get my job back.
Oh, we'll do better than that. We're also suing Gladwell for punitive damages. Which brings me to the final section. 2.7, Rex is not your summer intern.
Sign right here.
If we win, I take 30%.
This copy's for you.
Congratulations, Mabel Howard. You're a lawyer.
Whew. I'm a lawyer.
Hey! Hi! New suit, hair? Well, we'll make a lawyer out of you yet, Mabel Howard.
I did her hair myself.
Briefcase?
Attaché.
What's in it?
Nothing, just makes it look professional. Now, this is your opening statement to the jury, which I've personally written out for you.
Oh, you want me to read from a card? I thought I was going to speak from my heart.
Guys, put your heart into reading from the cards. What about the cane?
Oh, no, it's just a little gout. All this stress since I was fired.
The limp is distracting. Cane is sympathetic. Huh?
Oh.
Good. Really nice, come on. Sophie, do you want to get her through security? Good. Mabel Howard versus Gladwell?
What are you doing, Rex?
What am I doing?
Yeah, are you actually pretending that you didn't know I'd be here?
Yes, I'm actually pretending that. Did you get my calls?
You mean your 2 phone calls?
You didn't call me back.
So you decided to sue my client? I didn't hear from you for 8 months. I left to take a shower, and when I got back to the hospital, you were gone. Next thing I hear, you're in Canada.
Canada was a mistake. That's all behind me now. The important thing is I'm back.
Back? Back to what?
Back to my life, to me. My ex-therapist says I'm almost there.
You left therapy?
I guess it was a bit too much rehashing of the past for him.
So now we're just supposed to move on, no questions asked.
Yeah, if you're cool with that. Bruce?
Well, I have to go prep.
I saw that.
What?
You were going to straighten my tie, but then you stopped yourself.
I don't think so.
Yes, you did.
I have to go to court.
So do I.
Sure are a lot of people here. Is he all right?
He just needs a little encouragement. Here we go.
You stop doing that, I'm completely fine.
All right.
Oh, look, they're here.
Who are they?
It's your family.
my family.
I want the jury to see you have support. That's your brother, your cousin, your sister. Oh, that's your mom.
That's not my mom. My name is Mabel Howard, and I'm here because I was wrongfully terminated from my position as a bus driver for the Vanderfield Academy. I held this job faithfully for 25 years, but now this firing has left me I plan to hold him accountable for his vandalizing of. With no husband in the picture, I'm a little turned around here. And because retaliation is the ugliest form of wrongful termination, I believe punitive damages are also in order to the tune of $1.5 million.
So how do you intend to challenge Gladwell with no evidence?
I thought you might have some idea.
I'm not your law professor anymore.
You're still my mother.
All right. Corporations tend to throw a lot of money at their problems. Gladwell isn't doing that, so maybe they don't think they have one. Oh, just have fun with it.
That's your advice?
Why do we always have to talk about the law?
I thought our debates invigorated you.
Oh, feel the breeze, Rex. This is why I cherish these walks. I've been spending evenings with Dr. Barry Feynman.
What does that mean?
When I first contacted him to see if he'd treat you, we hadn't spoken in a decade. The minute I heard his voice, it was like we were right back at Williams.
Are you sleeping with him?
I've come to a crossroads in my life, Rex. I'm 54 years old. I'm tenured at one of the finest law schools in the country. I have my name on a textbook.
How long has this been going on?
Oh, 6 months, 30 years, depends on who's counting. We had a brief flirtation in college. We did Shakespeare in the Quad.
How can you do this to me?
To you? The world does not revolve around you.
Why would you even consider dating that hack?
He's not a hack. He's generous. He's kind. Rex, I had forgotten I was a woman.
Since when are you impulsive? Since when are you soft?
I've arranged a dinner so that my boys can get acquainted properly. Who knows? You might find in him the father you never had.
Rex, I'd like to apologize for how I acted during our separation. I had so many emotions going on inside. I just let them cloud my judgment.
You mean you were totally unprofessional?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it that.
What would you call it then?
Poorly handled. Look, it's not been an easy time for me. You know, since my wife Gretchen passed on,
Oh, Barry.
Okay. Since my wife Gretchen passed on, I've felt a certain guilt about falling in love again. But then your wonderful mother came into my life. And I felt terribly conflicted. My panic attack started again.
Your panic attacks?
On an ethical level, I just...
You sent me to someone who suffers from panic attacks?
Do you think I became a specialist? They say that most research is really me-search.
I've never heard that.
Well, anyway, now that we've weathered the storm, perhaps you'd like to finally meet me as a man. I'm sure you have many questions.
How many times have you been married?
I'm twice divorced, once widowed.
Any children?
12.
What is this? What are you doing?
Living my life.
Look at yourself. I barely recognize you. Where's your bow tie?
Why do I have to wear my bow tie?
Because it's who you are.
Oh, hey, now come on. Now listen, Rex. Wow.
Oh, Barry, I'm so sorry.
He's angry.
Now, when we call Headmaster Rice to the stand, we have to show he didn't take the appropriate action when you turned in the knife you took from that kid. Ready?
Super ready.
Watch. Mr. Rice, when I gave you the knife I confiscated, was the student suspended for bringing a dangerous weapon to school?
No, sir. It was our determination that the knife was not dangerous.
You don't consider this knife to be a dangerous weapon?
That's correct.
Why not? Not big enough?
For one thing, yes.
How much bigger would it have to be? Like, twice as big?
Sure. Why not?
Well, that's interesting. Because this isn't the knife. This is the knife I took from Jared. Seems at least twice as big to me. See? See how I knew his answers before I asked the question. Remember, small knife, big knife. Small knife, big knife.
Headmaster Rice, in addition to your duties at the school, don't you also serve on the board of the Gladwell Corporation?
I do.
Lots of important people on that board, and I'm sure you all do each other favors. Did you do one of those people a favor by having me fired?
No, I did not.
Oh. Then why was I fired?
We felt there was a growing problem with your temper. Some of the students were scared of you.
25 years. I may have had a few bad days, but I don't believe that's why you fired me.
Are there any more questions? I do still have a school to run.
Knife. Knife. Knife.
No. No, I can't think of anything.
Mr. Stenson.
That won't be necessary, Your Honor. I'm honestly not sure what else we could ask.
What did I specifically say?
Never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
And what did you do?
You already know what I did.
Exactly. You see how it works? That's because it's an art, Mabel. It's called the art of cross-examination.
I guess I got a little nervous.
All you needed to do was read from some index cards, then call Rice to show he lied about the knife. And that was it. Case was over. You never even got there.
Good afternoon, Mr. Allen.
Wish it was, Stu. And admitting you have anger issues.
Rex.
Sophia, what is it?
I have some, yeah, we'll have some bad news.
What could possibly be worse than what just happened?
Never ask a question you don't know the answer to.
That influential parent that Mabel says told Rice to fire her, that's Senator Elizabeth Craig.
What? What are you talking about?
Elizabeth Craig is Jared's mom.
Why? Why would you not disclose this to me before now?
Because every lawyer I disclosed it to refused to take my case.
I've let myself be blinded. Bruce tried to warn me at the driving range, but I wouldn't listen. Why wouldn't I listen? Wait a second. Regardless of what's happened, it's still just me against Bruce. Well, Bruce and the United States Senator, but still. You said you told Rice about Jared, and then he fired you the next day.
He snatched the keys out of my hand.
So their plan that morning was already afoot.
Oh, maybe they talked on the phone.
We can subpoena her records.
Phone records, that's something, right?
Yes.
Politician is a very different kind of witness.
Different how?
They lie easier.
Oh, I can't stand a liar.
Pay attention. The senator is going to be comfortable up there. We have to take that away.
How?
Etzel versus Bancroft. The man I was going to question was a governor. Governor Allen, do you have an account with the Bancroft group?
I most certainly do not.
May I approach the witness? Thank you, Your Honor.
You see, I discovered that the governor was allergic to shellfish. So just before court, I'd taken a bath in 20 pounds of crab meat. I was potent enough to put the man into anaphylactic shock.
Do I have to remind you that you are under oath, sir?
Excuse me, but I'm not bathing in any kind of crab meat.
That's not the point. Juries love to see a politician squirm because they can't be trusted. Only it has to be handled very delicately. If only I could just... All right. Okay, let's just run through it again.
Madam Senator, first, let me thank you for your time.
Glad I could be here. Always eager to help clear up a misunderstanding.
Now, On October 12th, when your son Jared told you I turned him in for cutting up my bus, how long did you wait before you called Headmaster Rice?
The entire question is a fabrication. I didn't even know anything about what happened on your bus until I heard about it from my attorney yesterday.
Yesterday? Then you better call your cell phone carrier, because they charge you for a call to a Mr. Joseph Rice at 4:18 on October 12th. So clearly it wasn't all a fabrication.
I talk to Joe frequently. If I recall correctly, I needed to let him know that I'd be late for a board meeting.
For 16 minutes. Because it says here the call was 16 minutes. And that doesn't include the 2 other calls that day to Mr. Rice's cellular telephone. Would you like to see?
If you really must know, my mother has been ill. There are 2 very good lung specialists with children at Vanderfield, and I was hoping to be able to get Joe's opinion of them.
Your mother was ill.
Not that she'd enjoy having the details of her health spread out in public.
Shame on you, Senator.
I'm sorry?
I watched you take an oath not 10 minutes ago, and you gonna sit up there and take your mother's health in vain.
I believe I've answered all your questions.
Are you gonna stand by that word?
Objection, Your Honor.
I said, do you stand by that word?
Back to your seat. We are moving on.
Your Honor,
Stenson, you are out of order.
I have something I'd like to say.
Hey there, big guy.
I'm never getting better, am I?
Your mother and I have discussed.
I think it's better for you and Barry to continue the work you started together. If you'll take him back.
Will you take me back, Rex?
Is this really a good idea?
Decision only you can make.
I'll give it some thought.
Just got to tell you, you're not going to find a better specialist in the greater Los Angeles area.
Of course.
When it comes to panic attacks.
Don't push
No, I'm
Barry.
just saying that.
Barry?
Dr. Feynman.
Dr. Feynman?
Yes, Rex.
You can let go of me now.
No, let's just give it another minute.
Barry.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, okay.
Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
Hey, think you're on.
Rex, I need to ask you a question.
No, sorry, but we're not settling.
Settling? Are you kidding? Have you been in the same courtroom as me? Now, what I was gonna say is I would like to start dating Lindsay, and I was wondering if I might have your permission.
Well, that's very big of you, Bruce.
Yeah, well, it's been 6 months, but I still thought I should ask.
Has it already started?
Not really.
Not even a little thing?
Well, yeah, sure.
Flirting?
Yes.
Kissing? That's okay, these are all little things. Here's another question. Can a man ask permission for something he's already done?
No.
No, so you're not asking permission for little things. You're asking permission for big things.
Very clever, Rex.
Are you in love with my fiance?
Ex-fiance. Yes.
Here's another question, based on your own personal experience. What do you think is overall stronger force over most human beings? Love or permission? Huh? Well, think about it. Of all the books and plays and poems and songs ever written, how many are about love and how many are about permission?
I don't know, Rex. Why don't you tell me?
All right, here, look, I'll try and give you a question you can't answer. Just suppose I don't give you my permission. If you really love my fiance, gonna make any difference?
Probably not.
So, you're not really asking permission for anything, Bruce. Not for little things, because you didn't wait for me on those. And not for big things, which we both know are more powerful than any force on Earth. So, what I'm wondering is, if you're not asking for permission, what are you doing?
I'm sorry I even tried. I'll see you at the next hole.
Destroying our friendship, maybe? Kicking a man while he's down? Rubbing it in? Those all seem like pretty good possibilities. Do not leave! I have the floor!
There is no floor!
The answer is no, by the way. I do not give you my permission!
Screw you, Rex!
Senator Craig.
Jared. I hope you're not missing too many classes because of this deposition.
Whatever. Objection. It was our understanding that Miss Howard would be asking questions.
Oh, they're just questions, Bruce. Whether she asks them or I do, nothing to be afraid of, is there?
Why don't you just proceed?
Let the record reflect, counsel's just consented to my participation. Now, do you remember a conversation on Miss Howard's bus around about the middle of October?
She thought I was carving up her seats, except I wasn't.
Only she found a knife in your school bag that day, didn't
She said she found a knife, but that was after she stole my bag.
I never...
She grabbed it. Then after, she said she found a knife.
I guess you told someone.
I don't remember.
Well, did you tell Mr. Rice?
I just said I don't remember.
Well, if you lost your bag, I'm sure your mother must have asked about it.
Yeah, I think she did ask me.
Well, now I'm stumped because she was pretty sure she didn't.
Wait, I have it written here. Yeah, I didn't even know what happened on your bus until I heard about it from my attorney yesterday. So, I guess she just went and forgot. Thank you so much, Jared. Now let's move on.
Whoa. Wait just a
Hey,
second.
this is my deposition, Bruce. I'm asking the questions.
I thought it didn't matter who asked the questions.
Jared, you just said that you told your mother about what happened on the bus. Are you sure about that?
I can't remember.
But you do remember that Miss Howard pulled a knife that day.
What? I never pulled a knife on anyone.
Better control your client, Rex.
You keep interrupting with these questions, I'll take it to the judge.
Who are you kidding? Jared, were you scared by Miss Howard just now? So scared that you would say anything?
I really object to this.
Dude, are you about to have one of those attacks?
Who told you about that?
Jared, did you ever tell your mother about what happened on that bus?
No. I never told her anything.
Anything else?
You're an evil little man.
You must be very proud of how you and your new boyfriend, Bruce, turned that kid, Jared, back into a liar.
I was gonna tell you about Bruce. I just...
You know how ridiculous it might sound?
You're an ass.
So what if you're smarter than he is? He's generous, he's kind.
Yep, that's right.
Who cares if you don't love him?
You don't know that.
I know what I saw.
Rick, can I get another, please?
When he writes you emails, it's always love Bruce or I can't wait to see you. But with you, it's never that. Sweet dreams is as far as you ever let it go.
I thought you might still be reading my emails. I didn't want to hurt your feelings.
I just needed some time.
How long was I supposed to wait? I mean, you've been back for months. All that time, I didn't even know if you were okay. I mean, who does that? When you fell apart that day, that was the only time that you ever showed any vulnerability in our entire relationship. Do you realize that? That was the only time that you weren't trying to amaze me. But if you didn't think that I could stand to see you fail, then you never actually believed that I loved you, that I was capable of taking care of you for once. Look, I knew who you were, Rex, only you never gave me the chance to show you who I was.
Well, I miss you too, baby, but try to be strong. We'll celebrate my birthday just as soon as all this is over, okay? Mommy loves you. I'll call you tomorrow.
Mabel, that's it. That's it. That's where we went wrong. See, I gave you all my moves, my style. But those strategies were designed for me. With anyone else, they fall flat.
Well, I don't think I was that bad.
You were terrible. But you were terrible as me. You have so much not going for you. Only I never let the jury see that. Come on! I never trusted that they would take care of you. Now, we may have lost the battle for the jurors' minds, but their hearts can still be ours. So, tomorrow, Mabel, you're gonna cry.
You mean in front of all those people? I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that.
I'm gonna teach you how. This, ladies, is a tear stick. Makes your eyes water. Now, close your eyes. Breathe it in. You too, Sophia. Let's all just breathe it in.
It's getting hard to swallow. Can you feel it?
Maybe bite your lip, because you'll do anything to keep it together. Watch carefully. I bat my left eye. Tear rolls down my cheek. And I give it a beat.
And I wipe it away.
Maybe nobody saw it.
Maybe I could still get out of here with my dignity. But sometimes, no matter how much we tell ourselves not to, don't cry, Rex, don't cry.
I don't see how this is gonna be enough for me to win my case.
You didn't let me finish.
I'm a grown woman, about to turn 50 years old. I'm not about to cry in public like a little child.
You're turning 50 years old?
You look amazing.
Oh, thanks.
Of course! That's why Gladwell didn't put money into the problem. They couldn't be sure where it would end.
Where what would end?
The payments to other employees. Mabel, we're not alone anymore.
Ms. Howard, closing arguments, please.
We've come a long way these last few days. Yes, we have. I ain't gonna lie. I'd say it was pretty much a disaster. Don't get me wrong. I'd still represent myself. That part was fun. But one thing I wouldn't do is hire that man there. Because that's when I let the devil in. First thing you know, you start pretending that you use a cane. Pretending that some sad collection of black folks is your family. Do you know he gave me a tear stick? Supposed to make me cry. But I'm not a beggar, and no one's dead, so nobody needs to cry. The fact is, those people over there snatched my life away. Everything I worked hard for. And to think they did it just 6 months before my 50th birthday. Seems like they got something against older folks.
Objection. Miss Howard has never raised these allegations before.
Never knew about it before.
Still, Ms. Howard, I'm afraid I'm going to sustain the objection.
Do what you gotta do, Your Honor. It's just, I never wanted $1.5 million. What I wanted was my job back, my route. My route from Western to Franklin to Talmadge to Prince. Over to Hillhurst to pick up all the soccer girls. There's always a lot of kids on Hillhurst. Then we'd ride along the park. Around the bend and to the school we'd go. I took care of your kids. You trusted me to keep them safe. And I went and made a whole life of it. Damn it, I said I wasn't gonna cry. Your minds are probably already made up, but I figure I've done enough lawyering for a lifetime.
In the case of Mabel Howard versus Gladwell Corporation, we, the jury, recognize Gladwell's right to terminate a worker's employment. However, we find the plaintiff's termination here to constitute retaliation. Accordingly, we find against the Gladwell Corporation and award Ms. Howard punitive damages in the sum of $500,000.
Thank you for your duty to the court. The jury is dismissed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Only where in my beautifully scripted closing argument did it say anything about not needing $1.5 million?
I just really feel bad about you, making me say all those terrible things about you.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much.
No. Really, I would not worry about the damages at all. I'm going to string this appeal along for eternity.
Good job, Bruce.
She will never see a cent. I'll see you back at the office, all right?
Seems like a happy bunch for losers.
I wouldn't gloat, Rex. I'm on my way back to the office right now to start filing the appeal.
I assume that's on the grounds of her little birthday reference?
You know, panic attacks or not, you probably could have done a better job coaching her in there, don't you think?
Oh, I think I coached her just fine. An appeal's gonna open up a can of worms, Bruce. And when they look into that can, they're gonna find your clients.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mabel Howard got fired just 6 months before her 50th. 6 months before her pension and benefits vested. Turns out, almost half of all Gladwell's drivers and maintenance staff had their jobs terminated. All before their 50th birthdays. In fact, I have 7 new clients already.
That is quite a story, Rex.
Story? These punitive damages, it's a $300 million class action.
So is this how you plan on winning Lindsay back, by suing all her clients?
I'll do what I have to.
Rex, this is where you and I always differed. You do what you have to do to get what you want, and I do what she needs.
You have no idea what Lindsay needs.
I'll see you around, Rex.
I'll see you in court, Bruce.
Franklin to Talmadge. That would add an extra mile to a route.
People like parks.
It was a nice touch.
You know, you texted me a couple of months ago. Just after midnight. You remember? You said you needed me. Told me you didn't feel whole.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Everything you said was right. I ran away because I was ashamed.
What do you want from me, Rex?
Come on with me tonight.
Is that what you think? Honestly? You write one clever close and I'll just fall right back into your arms?
Don't you miss me?
Yes. Of course I do. I miss you, but... If I go home with you tonight, you'll convince me to stay. You are very convincing, Rex.
Then tell me what to do.
Go back to therapy. For real this time.
Please give me something to remember you by.
You take care of yourself, okay, Rex?
March 10th, 2010. Mabel Howard versus Gladwell.
A victory, if not a perfect one, but clearly a decisive first step. Any day now, I can feel it. It's only a matter of time.
Rex,
What?
you've told me this story 100 times.
It's a great story.